All right, so we are going to create and continue our Halloween DIYs. I have the Boo from Dollar Tree, the Ghost, and one of the pumpkins, which I had done last year, and we're going to be fashionably updating these using some Mod Podge as well. I have some fabrics here, and we're going to be Mod Podging that onto our Boo three-dimensional lettering, and I'm going to be doing a crescent moon on this pumpkin using flour pigs. We, of course, are going to paint our ghost, and we're also going to add to this Boo as well. And so let's get started. Now, this time on this particular Mod Podge, I am actually going to go ahead and put this fabric, I'm going to pre-cut it, and I am marking it out with my magic marker. I'm going to be Mod Podging that on. Pretty much cut this one close to size before I put it on. Okay, I've got my fabrics pre-cut out to Mod Podge, but before I do that, I'm actually going to paint the outside edges orange with my Outrageous Orange Multi-Surface by Apple Barrel. And that will just dry real quick, and then I can go to Mod Podge. So I've painted the outskirts of my Boo, and that way the inside too, and now I'm ready to Mod Podge. So make sure you dampen your brush before you Mod Podge. Now I painted this because it will give it more dimension. It will really make it pop. And we'll be putting a coat of Mod Podge on top of this once we get everything placed. Now on this Boo, I took my black magic marker and made a line right there, so it will, you can see a little bit of deviation. So while our Boo is drying with the Mod Podge on it, we're going to do our ghost. Okay, so I brought up here our other Boo. I've took the ribbon off that was the tie for it, and I'm actually going to be taking all of this off, and you'll see that the letters are going to come up with it. Whenever you take this off, underneath it, it's plastic, and that will give us a lot of room for changes. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to preserve that letter, and it looks like it's going to tear as we take this off. Okay, I've got my fabric cut out for my Boo, and now I'm just trying to decide if I want to Mod Podge it or if I want to glue it, and also if I want to trim it out, but it's looking really, really good. So I've got my fabric cut out for my Boo, and I've decided I'm going to use just regular Elmer's glue to pin this down. That way I can change this out, and I'm going to spread it with my brush just for a more smoother, even coverage, and that'll make it easier than trying to fight it. You can see a little bit of stuff is left over, and so that's pretty normal. And if you want to, you can always just water this down. Now that I've got my fabric on there, I'm going to put my tie on, because I'm going to have my ghost coming up from behind the back. Okay, we've got that done. Hey y'all, this is Elizabeth here on the Dandysoap DIY channel, and welcome to the Boo Bash open playlist put on by a friend of mine, Michelle's Cozy Homes, her co-hosts, The Hearts, and Allison Lynn. In this particular playlist, which you will find the link in the description box down below, is going to be Halloween decor and recipes to celebrate this year's Halloween. Now, I put together 5 projects for you. These are more high-end, your Halloween decor, and some of these will follow you all the way into Thanksgiving as your fall decor. In these particular projects, they are designed so that you can move them around, make them changeable, you update them at a later date. So, let's get back to crafting, y'all. Okay, now my pumpkin, I'm going to paint it black with the Waverly ink chalk paint. So this will take me a moment. I did remove my leaf so I can get to it better. But I need this to be black in order to look like the photograph from Pinterest that piece is being inspired from. Alright, so I got my pumpkin painted black. I'm going to let that sit and dry. Now, in getting back to our black pumpkin, I have drawn a crescent moon on the side of it, and right there on that seam of these carved pumpkins, this one looked really bad. So I'm going to utilize that, and I'm going to cover it with some baby's breath that I got from Dollar Tree. You'll need to sketch out your crescent moon. You can print one out on Google if you want to. And I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to glue this on there. These are very small, so this is what I've got, and this is what I'm going with. So I'm going to use my baby's breath and my scissors. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and take the baby's breath from off of the little holders, and that will help move your task along a little bit better. Some of these are kind of barren, and then others are, really suitable. And, we want to be able to work this, and we're probably going to have to cut these little nubs off to kind of keep all this kind of going together. So I think I'm going to do these in advance. That will move my task along quite well. And so what we want to do is when we want to start gluing those in there, you could spread these out if you wanted to, just the way they're glued together, the way they're made. And I do have my glue gun on low, so I'm going to start in the center area to glue in and put these clusters about, and then I think that will be the easiest, quickest way to go about doing this. That way I can get these very close together, and it's not going to take a lot. As you can see, it happens really fast. Okay, now it's time to put my little twisties back on, my little spirals for my pumpkin, and this is the wired jute twine, and I put the grape leaf back on it. And so now I'm just putting my little curly cues on there. Now that is just looking gorgeous, guys. I really, really like it. I hope you guys have just as much fun doing that one, and that you fare just as well. Now on our fall decor for our Halloween, I have this stamp sticker that came from the Target dollar spot, and so we can apply this really easy. And I'm just going to use the carving pumpkin from Dollar Tree just like it is. It's got the piece on here that's, just a toothpick holding that top on, which is no big deal. I mean, you can take it off. Then instead of doing a stem, we're going to make a ribbon bow for the top of this. So I'm going to take and apply this sticker on here. So I got the felt leathers on there, and they look really good. So let's make us a ribbon bow. I've got some beautiful ribbon from this year at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit by adding a little bit of color. So I'm going to measure these at 12 inches, and that's going to be my first one right there. So pretty much after you do your first one, you can do your next one. And you can stack these any way you like, whichever ones you think will be the most prominent that you want to feature. Okay, guys, it's real simple. Take 8 pieces of 12-inch long, 2.5-inch wide ribbon, or whichever width you choose. You're going to separate the 2 bundles by tying the first 4 tight together, the second set tight together, then bundle them together and tie them. cut an angle on your tails, and then start working your ribbon and spreading the 4 out away from each other and the next 4 out away from each other. And this will make this beautiful, bountiful ribbon bow to go atop of the pumpkin. And then it's just a matter of gluing it to the top of the pumpkin. So there again, it is a total of 8 of your choice 12-inch long ribbons bundled together and then flowered out, rosetted out, and just shape them as you may. And then just a little bit of glue on the top so you can rework this pumpkin again at a later time. And she is just lovely, absolutely lovely. Now I'm going to make a sign using this Be Grateful from Dollar General. October 31st stickers I got from the Target Dollar Spot. There's actually 2 in here, and a little bit of fabric and my hot glue. And I'm probably going to use the back side of this. I'm just going to place some fabric on the back of it, and this may work just as well as hot glue. It does not necessarily have to be Mod Podged on there. I'm going to cut me a piece of fabric to fit. Okay, I'm going to use Elmer's glue again like I did on the last one, but this time, since it's thick, I'm going to add a little bit of water, and it's not quite Mod Podge, but it will be similar to Mod Podge. And you just use a little bit of water and damp brush, and now help thicken that so you get a little better spread. Mine's been sitting a while, so it's gotten really, really thick. You don't even have to have the whole board covered, but your outer edges, you will definitely want any of your outer edges. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I've got this Happy Halloween ribbon, and I am going to cut it down here, and I'm going to put that in place, and I can trim this off, but I want this to look really high end, and I'm leaving the wire on it. Now just go ahead and glue and smooth down your ribbon. Trim off any excess ribbon or fabric around the edges, and now you'll be ready to place your letter and number. Now, since we've got that on there, we want to put our sticker on there. Okay, so we got that set. And there's our high-end Halloween October 31st sign. Welcome back. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave comments and suggestions in the boxes down below, and consider subscribing to the channel. We are currently doing fall and Christmas decor, and I just wanted to wish you guys a Boo Bash happy Halloween, and go out and make a dandy creation. And until the next DIY, I'll be crafting, y'all.